top. All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Thursday afternoon, matinee edition of Knicks Weekly, presented by Manscaped. It's your boy CP the Fanchise here on the Solo Dolo. On today's show, we're going to go back through this Knicks season, man, and talk about the unsung heroes of the season. And today's show, we're going to talk about Josh Hart. We're going to start with Josh Hart. And Josh Hart had an interview with Ryan Clark and the guys at The Pivot. I'm going to give you my 4 key takeaways from that interview. It was a good interview. You guys can go check it out. And much, much more, man. Lock in. Call us up, 657-383-1509. Or you could hit us up on the KFTV Discord, man. CP the Fanchise on a lunchtime live stream. Back at it, man. Let's go. Salute, salute, salute. All right, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hope everybody is doing well. Beautiful day here in New York. Summertime is here. Let me salute some of my people here in the Lunchtime Live. Mr. Dunn, salute. Pedro Perez says we in here. Let's get it. Knicks all day, every day. Rado G, salute, salute. Says let's go, man. Reek Flair, a lot of Fanchise channel members in here. Let's go. Talento, always in here. He's always in here first. KG7 full salute. Robert Paris, hope all is well, man. Long time. Lopez in here, 104. Lopez, don't miss a show, man. Muhammad Mustafa, salute. Yeah, Lopez, been a minute. Stephen Gomez, salute, man, down there in 305, I believe. So salute, man. Everybody on the lunchtime grind. Just a couple of, random tidbits. Like I said, man, hope you guys are doing well. Off season, but the on season, if you will. And so, yeah, we picking things right back up, man. We're going to get into wrapping up some more of last season and talking about some of those high points. And then we're moving right into the draft. The NBA draft is June 26th. The Knicks sitting with 2 picks in this draft for right now. So we got to get into our draft coverage just like previous years. We got to get into our draft coverage and see, is this Knicks team going to pick up some depth? Are they going to make some trades? Let's see how it goes. So we will have some of our usual draft guests that we've had in previous years. If you guys have a new guy, if you guys have a new analyst that you guys want to bring on here to cover the draft for our Q&A, leave some comments in the chat. Leave some comments on the video after this. Shout out to the replay gang and let us know what you guys think. And we're going to take this off season to kind of, let the people produce some of our shows this summer, man. What do you guys want to talk about? Who are some guests that you want to see? We had Gary V on the check-in yesterday. Shout out to Gary V and his team for making it happen. Shout out to J. Cal for making that happen. That Gary V interview was like 3 years in the making, man. So we finally get it done, man. We stay patient. We keep pushing. And when things unfold, we are quick to act. And so that's what we had to do. Daniel Bolsajour in the chat says, fellas, been a while, man. Salute, Daniel. How you feel? I feel like you were just here with us after Game 7. You're typically in here often, but shout out to you, man. Aaron Ho, salute. How you feeling, man? Quan Bostic, salute, man. Appreciate the super chat. Quan Bostic in here, Fanchise channel members. K-Dot's in here. So, yeah, definitely check out the Gary V interview. We're going to get into draft stuff starting probably next week. NBA report is popping. We got Kenyon Martin coming back on the NBA report on Friday. We will touch on the Western Conference Finals matchup between the Mavs and the Timberwolves and touch on some more NBA hot topics. So make sure that you guys are subscribing over there on the NBA report as well to tap in with you guys over there, man. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Kmart, Team KFTV. Salute on this off season. Yeah, man. Still missing Knicks basketball, bro. I'm not going to lie to you guys, man. Still missing Knicks basketball. So either way, we are going to talk about it, man. And today's show, like I said, I really want to touch on some of the unsung heroes of this Knicks season. Jalen Brunson obviously gets a lot of credit. And we talk about what this team is able to do with injuries. But we really got to start with Josh Hart. Really got to start with Josh Hart because I felt like of the unsung heroes, and not necessarily unsung, but the non-Brunson guys, right? The supporting cast guys that really stepped up in a major way this season. And it starts with him, To me, it starts with Josh Hart. And so he was on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark and Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder as well. And so there were some takeaways that I want to dish on as it relates to the Knicks. Our 12-minute interview, definitely a good interview. You want to head over to the Pivot and check it out. But the first thing I want to talk about is Josh Hart's comments on the Knicks culture, because I thought that was the foundation as far as why this team was able to go as far as they could go. So here was Josh Hart on the Pivot as it relates to the Knicks culture. Here he goes.
You jumping around, but like, do players fit certain cities? Because there's guys that, like you said, LA's different than New York different than Miami. Do guys fit cities?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, you have like New York, Philly's up there, like that tough, gritty kind of vibe. Then you got some of the Hollywoods, the LAs, the Miami, a little bit, the flashy kind of vibe. So then you have the Midwest team. They just play basketball. Yeah, they're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to the Sizzler. They're going to Sizzler on a Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. Oklahoma City, man. They just nice guys. I think so, but also it's cool for us because we have, y'all, like, everyone knows New York is like that, city that never sleeps. You grind. You kind of, just make it happen. That we kind of have that with Leon West, Thibs. And then everyone else we have is that same kind of mode on the team. So I think, it's cool. Players match, like the city, but also, the franchise did a great job of having the right guys that do that.
Yeah, absolutely hit it on the head. Yeah, especially here in New York. It's critical. It's almost as worth as much as the talent that is on the court. It's fitting the mold. It's fitting the style of the city, grit and grind, grimy. That's always how this team has been. That's always the fabric, the identity of this team across generations, at least the successful ones. And yes, the 70s teams had a lot of talent in terms of Walt and Reed and the Pearl, all the guys, the number of Hall of Famers on that 70s team, but they were also tough, led by Reed, the captain. They had some tough players on that team. You go to the 80s, you go to the 90s, obviously. Ewing, the era. That's been a signature of this team and part of the success. And so for Leon Rose, Worldwide West, to number one, starting with Thibs, right? It's got to come from the coach. The coach has to set that tone. You start with Thibs, go to Julius, and Julius has, I felt like, evolved to really adopt the attitude of the city. It wasn't always easy. We saw that, right? Julius had his struggles, but give him credit because he did evolve. You bring in Brunson, Hart. Look at the Knicks winning percentage with Josh Hart. Look at the Knicks winning percentage here with Josh Hart, man. This is with Stat News. 623. 623 winning percentage with Josh Hart. So you bring in Hart. I think the Block Nest monster Mitchell Robinson has that New York grit. And he's a country boy, but he has that toughness, though. Hartenstein, DiVincenzo, they draft Deuce McBride. I thought RJ had it when he was here. Quick. OG. They really brought in guys over the years, and it's led to that chemistry. The culture is very important. And then on top of that, Leon Rose and these guys have brought a certain stability with Thibs. So good, give them credit for that. And Josh Hart really spoke well on that. Now, the next point I thought was pretty funny with Josh Hart was in terms of, what it's like playing in the Garden and why it seems like we always get a player's best shot. Check out this comment here from Josh Hart. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys.
New Orleans, so you've kind of been around. Now you're here on the East Coast. Is it more distracting playing in the Garden?
Nah. I'll tell you, playing in the Garden is a good and bad thing, right? Because you got a home team, like, you good, like, it's lit, the energy is crazy, all that kind of stuff. But then on the flip side, everybody wants to play at the Garden. Dudes were like, if they see New York on the schedule and they nursing a little injury, all right, let me sit out the game or two before, make sure I'm right to go to the Garden. And you be having random dudes just go off. They be, this is my time. They go out there, get 30, 40, 50, and you looking like, man, he don't do this. He don't do this, but it's just like.
That's the stage.
Yeah, it's like that's the stage. Everybody, you always want to compete at the Garden. And I was in the Western Conference.
Spot on. And this is something that as fans, and when we do these post-game shows, we used to do these post-game shows over the years, we'd always talk about that, like, how so-and-so, he's injured the night before, but as soon as it comes, sees the Garden on the schedule, oh, he's good. Was that Jason Tatum this past season? When Jason Tatum, the last matchup at the Garden, he's healthy. I think somebody was dealing with a hamstring or something, and then, like, the next night, he goes back on load management. Right? How many times do we see over the years those random players that would have their Garden moments? It seemed like it would come every night for the Knicks. Remember Cole Anthony? And Cole Anthony's a good player, but, Cole Anthony showing out. Remember Zeke Naji when the Nuggets came into town? Ricky Rubio. Who else? Who else are some of the stars are still going to be the stars, right? The stars come out at the Garden. We've known that for decades. But the randoms that were making a name for themselves, and it seemed like, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before that. It was just like game after game. You're like, yo, what's going on? Josh Hart speaks to that to a T. To a T. And this is from a player perspective. He talks about, what players' mindset is playing at the Garden. So I thought that was funny, man. Because that was something that as fans, we always would talk about it and comment on because it was so obvious. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up on for you boys. CP the Fanchise here. Knicks Weekly presented by a Manscaped, man. And I see a lot of my Fanchise channel members in the chat. If you are a Fanchise channel member here with me on the Lunchtime Grind, go ahead and throw a custom emoji in the chat. It is also Thursday, May 30th, so our monthly Fanchise channel member giveaway is on and popping, and we're going to do two. We're going to do two this month just as a fan appreciation. We had a great year, great postseason run, and it was a great time with the fans. So we're going to do two giveaways, and I'll do it tomorrow on tomorrow's edition of the Lunchtime live stream. Shout out to our sponsors at Mando. Shout out to our sponsors at Mando for this gift pack. We're going to give this away to one of our Fanchise channel members. Shout out to Mando. Body deodorant wipes. Great job by them. They are everywhere right now. So part of their gift pack, we're gift pack to you. You're going to get a package of the deodorant wipes. You will get the cleansing bar. You will get the invisible cream deodorant. Some of y'all want that. Don't stunt. Don't front on that. And the Mando body wash. So salute to our guys there. You'll also get the solid deodorant. This is the Mount Fuji deodorant. So we're going to put that in the package and send that out to you. Then our second giveaway, we got more of the Kith merch that was given out at Madison Square Garden during Kith night. So you get the Knicks t-shirt, the Kith Knicks t-shirt, as well as the insert that they gave out at Madison Square Garden. Shout out to our guy Julius. And then we're also throwing a playoff towel, man. Give you guys a little piece of the garden. So those are going to be two of the giveaways that we'll give out tomorrow as part of fan appreciation, man. Once again, call us up, man, 657-383-1509. Or you can hit us up on the KFTV Discord if you just want to chop it up. We'll get to some questions after I go through the Hart interview and chop it up with the family, man. Let me get the phones open right now. Who else we got in here? John Cheriel, let's go. Salute, man. Soka Sense always in here. Salute, man. Brian Howard, how you feeling, man? He says, shout out to you and your boy. We got smacked at game one. Which was game one? Brian Howard, game one, the Pacers series. I was at game one of the Pacers series and the Philly series. Sean Ramos, there you go. The one, how you doing? Patrice 2020, salute to you. Okay, so back to the Hart interview, man. It's a good interview on the pivot. Let's get to a couple more key takeaways as it relates to the Knicks. And this one was good where he talked about the Knicks injury woes, because that was pretty key in derailing our championship aspirations, man. Let's take a listen, and I'll react to it on the other side. Here was Josh Hart on the Knicks injury woes. Here we go.
After we made that trade and we got OG, and in January we were like 15-1, 16-1. We were rolling. We have like the best defense, one of the best offenses. Like mid-season, you rolling. You like, all right, like we
got a shot.
We gonna make some noise, and then it's like, one domino falls, and it's like, all right, like okay, we got a deep team. Then another one falls, and you just sitting there like, he might come back, so we gotta keep it afloat. You know what I mean? We gotta just hold on. So it was just like those dominoes just keep falling, and it's like one of the things that, as y'all know, is winning a championship or being successful. Sometimes it just comes down to just luck. You know what I mean? It just comes down to where the ball bounces. If a guy's hurt, if a guy's not hurt. So it was tough because we went from like, okay, we can really make some noise to we out there fighting, and it was,
for my life.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, for me, I'm a competitor. I love to compete at the highest level. So I was, once I started seeing guys, just going down, it was like, okay, I gotta step my play up. I gotta step my minutes up. And
was there a conversation with you?
So there he goes. I gotta step my game up. I gotta step my minutes up, and that's what he did, man. We talk about this unsung hero, Josh Hart. This was my playoff X factor, guys. This was my guy. Stepped it up in a major way, man. I mean, just look at the numbers. We know what happens when Julius goes down. I mean, Josh Hart regular season averages 9 and 8. Shot 31% from 3 in the regular season. Playoffs, minutes went up, started every game, 14.5. 11 rebounds, 4.5 dimes, shot 37% from 3, did Josh Hart. Great job by him. You go back to, you look at some of these numbers from Stat News, man. He was great. Look at these numbers, 37% from 3, up from 31% in the regular season. 42% from the corners, Josh Hart shot. Shot 42% from the corners. That was in the 83rd percentile in the playoffs. Mid-range used at 37. 53 at the rim. That went down a little bit. But overall, an effective field goal percentage of 51%. Good job by him. How about his free throw drawing? Shooting foul draw rate in the playoffs, 12.7%. And so, talk about when you lose Julius and you need another guy who can get to the free throw line, who can draw contact, get to the line. Josh Hart did that. Now, he didn't convert. That was another issue. Free throw numbers did go down from 79% in the regular season, 72%. So that wasn't great. But you needed somebody else that could force the issue, and that was Josh Hart, especially out in transition, right? We know that was his strong suit. No question about it. You know that. So it was good to see his numbers perk up for the Knicks. And, look at these transition numbers for Josh Hart. Look at these transition numbers. Knicks, 1.2 points plus per possession in Josh Hart in transition this year. Off of steals, he's in the 82nd percentile. Off of live rebounds, 66th percentile. It's good numbers, man. It's good numbers for Josh Hart. And then there was another area that I liked. Of course, this is where he made his bread and butter for us. Check out the rebounding. Defensive rebounding percentage off of field goals, 98th percentile in the playoffs. 96th percentile in the playoffs, 98th percentile in the regular season. 22.4% defensive rebounding percentage. How about offensive rebounding? 84th percentile. Animal. Free throws. 92nd percentile, rebounding off of free throws, offensive rebounding percentage. Second chance opportunities. And defensive, he was in the 68th percentile. Even got his blocks up, 1% block rate. It's nice. You know, talk about a guy that had to do everything when Julius Randle went down. This guy was vital. You don't have this type of postseason success or regular season. You don't get the second seed or even get through the playoffs without him. No question about it. Dr. Slice, what website was I using to check the advanced stats? This is Clean in the Glass. You got a lot of sites that will go in on the advanced stats. You have PBP stats. You have Clean in the Glass, a number of sites. I like Clean in the Glass. These are some of the stats that they give you, but you can go to other sites that will give you another look at some different stats if you want to deep dive into the analytics. Cheesy Soul Cakes. Hart just proved even more that he's perfect. Nick in this interview, no question about it. We're going to get to a couple more tidbits on the interview. Coach Rubens, salute. Coach Rubens, how you feel? Yep. Sean Frank, was that a okay, yeah. We're going to keep that running. I wanted to kind of segment that part, that conversation, to go into what he was really able to do for this team and lift them up. And like I said, go back to this number, man. Josh Hart, Knicks winning percentage with Josh Hart, 623 since he's been here. Excellent numbers. And then take a look at his salary, man. Let's take a look at his salary. He signed the deal last year. It's going to kick in this year. $18 million next season. 19 season after that. 20 the season after that. Say 21. And then he's got the team option for 22, which you figure, for 27, sorry, at $22 million. And you look at where that 18 is going to slot in for next season. Not Josh Hart next season is going to have like roughly, the 83rd ranked salary in the league. Couple guys that are going to be making more than Josh Hart next season. Colin Sexton, good player, not an impactful player. D'Lo, same thing. Keldon Johnson, I'm still taking Josh Hart. Norman Powell, Duncan Robinson, 19-4. Jakob Poeltl, Miles Turner. OG's deal is going to get ripped up, but he'll be at 19.9. Marcus Smart. It's a good deal. And DeAndre Hunter. How about Hunter? DeAndre Hunter making $21 million next season. Dylan Brooks, $22 million. Malcolm Brogdon, $22.5. I'm good with Josh Hart. How's Cam Johnson? How you like that Cam Johnson contract? $23.6. Give me Josh Hart. Nostalgic Nick, salute, man. Jalen, KnicksFanTV Jalen. He delayed his contract to get DiVincenzo his cheddar. That's a team guy. All right? That's a team guy. All right, so let's get back to some more of this interview. I see you guys on the phone lines as well. We're going to get to those calls, 657-383-1509, or hit me up on the KFTV Discord. Make sure you tap into that Gary V interview too, man. It's good stuff. CP the Fanchise here. Salute to everybody in the chat on this Thursday afternoon. Okay, I'm just looking at my timestamps here, We're heavy on the timestamps here. Okay, back to it. Back to the interview. Josh Hart. Here is Josh Hart on the Thibs question that the hot topic of the offseason. And let's talk about it because Josh Hart, I thought, really, really made some great points.
You and Thibs, though, where he told you you'd play more minutes or you'd be playing full games?
Nah. First and foremost, probably 5-6 times a game was just looking like, yo, you good? You need a sub? You need something? And I'm like, it was the point. I'm like, yo, if I need something, I'll come to you. I'll let you know if I need a sub or something. If not, I'm good. Right. But it was just one of the things once you have guys going down, it's like I gotta pick my stuff up. I gotta step up and I gotta go out there and hoop. And if during playoff time, it's like I gotta push my body to the max. To the point where it's either it's my body shutting down. And that was my thought process was I'm a go until the wheels fall off. Yeah. And that was just kind of my mentality. All-Star break to the last game of the season.
What'd he say? And look, some people might say, what else is he going to say? Is he going to say, yeah, Thibs was driving me crazy here? But he said, look, I'll let you know when I need a breather. I'll let you know. So the idea that, like, the players are just, like, helpless and Thibs is running these guys into the ground. Hey, this is a players' league. All you got to do is raise your hand, right? You raise your hand, you come out the game. Jamal Crawford was on this platform. What JC say when I asked him about Thibs and the minutes things in Minnesota? He said, look, players want to play. Players want to play. So I just don't see it, man. But here's Josh Hart saying, listen, it was his choice. K-Dot. He just admitted it was his choice to stay on the floor, not the coach's. And he said, look, I'm going to go till the wheels fall off. It's an endurance test, the NBA playoffs. So that was one thing that he said there. Now, here is more on Hart on Thibs. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up on for you boys. Let me get to, this is another part Hart talks about with Thibs and the narrative. Here we go. Oh, let me unmute this.
I think sports in general, once you get a label, it's almost impossible to get, to change that label or change that narrative. Yeah. So it might have been like that in Chicago or Minnesota, wherever it was. But since, my year and a half I've been here, man, it'd be light. It'd be chill. Like, we probably went live maybe like 6-7 times this whole season during practice. Most of the time, it's more mental. It's more, all right, we're running through these plays. We're, doing 25 passes, figuring out, like, if Jalen gets blitzed or if Julius gets blitzed, where are we supposed to be? And it's more the mental part where you have to lock in with his practice. It's not really physical. We're not running up and down. We're not doing much. And coming from me, someone that hates practice, like, I hate practice, bro. I hate doing, like, this, turn them lights on at 7:30 at the Garden, I'm good. Yeah. But, for me, I'm like, oh, this is it? Oh, we good. Like, we cool. I'm chilling. So
there was Josh Hart saying, basically, yeah, you're going to go hard in games, but in practices, they're primarily walkthroughs. Mental preparation. Looking into each scenario. What happens if this happens? Your counters, right? Working on the counters. And that's one of the things that Thibs have mentioned over the years since he's been here in terms of managing minutes and load management. He said, look, yeah, you might go hard in games, but there's ways to limit the amount of wear and tear in players' bodies. We're in 2024. Guys aren't practicing. When he said we did 6 or 7 lives all year, they're not going at each other like that in practice, just like after games. This ain't the 90s where you're putting in 2-a-days, right? Riley might have put you in the Knicks through 2-a-day. Remember when Xavier McDaniel was on this show and talked about that? Day after games, they going in 2-a-days. So, again, this is according to these guys. I'm not the minutes police. I'm not the minutes doctor. I'm just saying, from the professionals, from the guys that are doing it, there's ways to manage your playing time. Got to be careful what I say. Put Flaking 3. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up on for you boys. BLW, Fanchise channel member, $20 Superchats and salute. Team KFTV. Y'all did a great job this year. Absolutely, man. Salute to the team. No question about it. David Lomanico, how you feeling, man? Good to see you in here. So that was that on Thibs. Now, another point that Hart made, which I thought was excellent, was one that I've been driving home here the entire playoffs when I'm going after the Thibs detractors and the minutes police. This is what Hart had to say here. And he was absolutely right. Let me make sure I got the numbers right here. This is Josh Hart from the Pivot Podcast. Go ahead and check it out. Full interview, great interview there by Ryan Hawk and the boys. Here's Josh Hart.
If you look at the injuries we had this year, Julius basically falling, someone trying to take a charge, he falls, on his shoulder, freak incident. Bogey, unfortunately, like Nick Batum, tried to dive for a loose ball, caught a piece of his ankle, freak incident. Mitch, stress injuries, those are tough ones, Jalen breaking his hand, freak incident. OG pulling his hamstring, He's going full speed for, to try to get the ball. You never know what's going to happen. So, a lot of the injuries we had were freak incidents. And then it's like, all right, we got 7, 8 healthy players, and then you mad at a dude for playing 6. It's like, as y'all know, sometimes the 7th or 8th guy or 9th guy, like, they're not ready yet. They might be, they have the potential to be, but they're at this point in time, they might not be ready.
Didn't we talk about that? Those are fluke injuries. The Julius one. Brunson breaking his hand. OG hamstring. Happened to Halliburton. Halliburton's out right now with a hamstring. Where's all the people blaming Rick Carlisle for the breakneck pace that the Pacers play at? That put their star point guard on the shelf. I just never saw the direct correlation. Is it possible? Absolutely. I just never saw the direct correlation between, player injuries as a result of just playing a lot. I don't know. I'm not in the medical field. But here's Josh Hart saying that these injuries are fluke. The Bogdanovich injury was absolutely a fluke injury from an injury-prone player. Mitch. And then what did Hart say after that? You're down so many bodies. Thibs ain't going to Diakite and Daquan Jeffries in a high-stakes playoff game. No chance. Trust. Didn't Josh Hart say that? Trust. Thibs has to trust the guys to deliver. Hell, my guy Burks lost the trust. And then he got it back. Almost saved the team. Imagine Burks Hive saved the team in Game 7. I would have been obnoxious on this channel for weeks. I would have still been talking about that to today. I wouldn't have heard the end of it. So, the idea that we're just going to go to the end of the end of the bench, it's not going to happen. If you think about what this team looked like in its totality as a unit, let's say Julius and all these guys are all healthy and you're going into the playoffs against Philly, you have 11 potential guys that you can play. That's more than the average playoff roster. Playoff rotation. So you lose Julius, you lose Bogey, you lose Mitch, you lose OG. We're really going to look at and say, hey, how come the real 12, 13, 14, 15 man on the roster didn't play in the playoffs? I just don't see how that's logical. I don't see it. And that was Josh Hart, verse for verse, bar for bar, basically saying the same thing. Man. KG7 Foley doesn't trust the guys on the team he's responsible for having on the team. Take a look at NBA rosters and rotations, man. You tell me the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th guy on playoff rotation rosters that are making legitimate contributions in the playoffs right now. Not too many. And for one reason why you might not find too many is how many teams were decimated by injuries in the playoffs like that. That's why I say the Knicks, more than any team, no other team could handle that type of adversity and make it as far as the Knicks did. The one in the chat, a little more trust during the regular season with some players. You never know when you might need them. Again, those guys aren't playing when you have 11 able bodies. Those guys are not playing. How much did that trust, by the way, work for Mike Malone and the Denver Nuggets, who are in Cancun as we speak? They're on a hang glider right now as a team, enjoying the sun and fun and shells. How much did that trust get them? And they didn't lose guys to injuries. They lost guys by just sheer operations, trying to navigate a complex salary cap. And yeah, they have promising youngsters, but they left their bench so barren with not enough formidable veterans that it cost them in the playoffs. How much of that trust that Mike Malone gave to those guys? How was he rewarded? They lost. Real Rose, our bench was deeper when they were healthy. You lost 4 guys. So, you know, that's my thoughts on that. That's my thoughts on that, man. You know, the little more trust in the regular season, none of those guys were playing in the regular season. I don't need to see Jacob Toppin to see what's going on. We don't need to run experiments. We have an 11-man rotation. Triple M in the building says every game is important where the Knicks finish standings prove that. Tied for second, only 3 games away from the play-in. Armadale Poe, you're not playing unproven players in the playoffs. Not doing that. 646. What's your name? Where you calling in from?
This is Ty calling from work. I had to put the job on timeout.
Yeah, forget that, man. It's lunchtime, man. We got to talk Knicks. We got important things to do over here. Let's go, Ty.
Let's talk, Nick. Let's go.
Let's go.
Josh Hart interview gave me what I needed. Our core guys are rough riders, and we ready to rock. And the thing I love about it, CP, is that interview with Eric said it best. When we win that chip, we're going to do it the doggy style way. We're not going to do it with superstars. We're going to do it with gritty cats that's going to get the job done. And I work down here on Broadway in the Canon of Heroes, and we're going to celebrate the party like rock stars, my dude.
There you go. There you go, man. What do you do for a living, man? You don't got to tell me where you work at. What do you do for a living?
I do IT. I work down by World Trade Center.
Okay. All right. No doubt, man. Definitely thanks for tapping in. Thanks for, joining us on your lunch break, man. And call back anytime, man.
Absolutely. Go Knicks.
Let's go. Whoa. Triple M said, hey, yo, I almost choked on my water. You know, I had to let my man roll. He had his library voice on. He was sneaking away on the job. Like, literally, he was like literally under his desk calling in. So I had to let him flow. But man, oh man, flag on the play. Flag on the play. Take it easy here, buddy. Oh, man. CP the Fanchise here. 657-383-1509. Number to call. You can hit us up on the KFTV Discord. I'll rock for a little while longer. And we'll move on to tomorrow's show. You got Western Conference Finals tonight between the Mavs and the Timberwolves. Kenyon Martin, Kmart, coming back on the NBA Report tomorrow. I think around either 12:30 or 1. Just look out for that. Make sure you guys subscribe. Hit the notification bell over there. Support us over there. And we'll get to it. If you guys in the chat have any other questions, comments, let me know. I'll shout you guys out. We'll read them. Make sure you guys tap into that Gary V interview, man. Gary V dropped a lot of gems on last night's show. You know, we talk Knicks, but also wanted to give some of the content creators. Some of you guys have your own podcast. Some of you guys are aspiring. So make sure that you guys tap in, man, because I want to make sure that we get you guys value. And that you guys are getting the most out of this show. Also want to salute our sponsors, man. You guys know it. Manscaped, fellas. Hey, Father's Day is coming up, and what more can you get for dad than the #1 men's grooming tool above and below the waist, man? Our guys at Manscaped have the perfect package for dad, whether it's Lawnmower 5.0, my favorite. You got the beard hedger. You have the handyman, the close-knit shaver for you guys that really want to get close-knit there on your beards, on your neckline, paws. You have shampoo, conditioner, body wash, deodorant, body deodorant. Manscaped ships to a lot of places all over the globe, all over North America, Canada, the USA. You have Europe, France, South Africa as well, Singapore, our guys in the Asia-Pacific region, and a lot other places, a lot more countries, man. So you can definitely catch Manscaped products wherever you guys are at, and make sure you guys use our code, man, KFTV, for 20% off plus free shipping. That is KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping, and most importantly, no testimonials. No testimonials, man. You don't need it. Just go out there and get it. KG7 knows it, man. Will Rose, is McCall our answer? I mean, it really doesn't matter. But I see a lot of Knicks fans going back to that. I just can't see it happening. I just can't see it happening. Should have got him when we could have had him. Draft day. They got too cute. You know, they got too cute. He was an easy choice. He was a safe choice, and they should have got him. Do the Knicks run it back this summer? I think they'll be on the lookout. They have to be. They have to be. You always have to be trying to upgrade the team. I love this team. I love how they came together last year, but you always got to be looking to upgrade. I mean, what has Boston been doing around Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? What have they been doing every year? Trying to upgrade the team. This is a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. What they do this year? Let's go get Kristaps. Let's go get Drew Holiday, and let's go. They're in the finals. Let's lock it in, and they better win the finals because that would be a huge flop. You know, Milwaukee went out there and got Dame. I think Miami's going to make a move this year. Right? I think Riley is sending a couple of shots Jimmy Butler's direction. Is saying, number one, we're going to upgrade the team. Number two, it might come at your expense. Do they go out and get Spider? Do they go out and get Garland? So the Knicks, I think they'll be on the lookout. See what's up. If not, you run it back. You sign Brunson. You sign OG. You sign Hartenstein. Rumors are out there that Brunson's ready to lock in a deal this year. That would be very helpful for the Knicks. Another sign of sacrifice from Captain Clutch. I would love to see that. And, you know, this is what I'm thinking right now. This is what I'm thinking. Yes, the Knicks will be on the star hunt in typical Knick fashion. But what I'm thinking is, do they potentially still use that Bogdanovich contract and the bevy of draft picks that they have and make another OG type trade? An OG type trade. A Derek White type trade. Where it's not the perennial all-star, superstar, blockbuster, but it's another domino to the group that moves the chain forward. Is it DeJounte Murray? Is it DeJounte Murray again? Somebody that could come in and fill the needs. Knicks need a playmaking point guard off the bench. Now, I'm not saying that he comes in here and brings you off the bench, but they need that. Someone with more scoring capability. Shot the ball fairly well last year. Could that be the piece where you don't have to trade that much and you add in a guy like that, a two-way player? Some people question his defense. Hey, he brings athleticism. He's got wingspan. Yes, he's shorter, whatever you want to say. But I think he could be another dog that you can add to this group and help you on both ends of the floor. I think DeJounte Murray could fit here. So, you know, because remember when they got OG, and I was like, you know, we might have to think about this thing in terms of doubles and triples to get us there rather than just a grand slam and the home run. And you saw that even more so after seeing what OG did to this team and how much he brought them even closer. So, whereas by the trade deadline last year, I wasn't as hype on a DeJounte Murray trade. Now that I see what this team looks like and how they finished, how Ragu stepped his game up, Hart, OG Julius, the 14-2 January, that changes things. That definitely changes things. Where I think maybe a DeJounte Murray move could be another piece. You know, think about how OG changed his team. Think about how Derek White changed the Celtics. Drew Holiday, like those moves, those small little tweaks. That could be it. That could be it. I would love Caruso. Caruso's another guy I would love here for sure. Caruso. Right? You have Caruso, but I'm thinking of a potential, like, you know, if DeJounte Murray came in like, you know what? I'll come off the bench. I'll sacrifice. Let me and Deuce run the second unit. Whoa. I like that. I like that. Let me and Deuce run the second unit. And away you go. You put Deuce in his natural position. He plays off the ball. You got DeJounte Murray cooking. Get after it defensively. I think he can be another dog. And keep us athletic. You know? Can't forget that. I want the Knicks to remain an athletic team, whether that's through the draft, through the mid-level exception. Keep it athletic, man. Get some guys that are versatile. Some guys that can get out there and run. You see the Pacers, they get out there and run. I want the Knicks to maintain their edge, especially in transition as well. So yeah, I mean, this DeJounte thing is kind of intriguing now, based on what I've seen from this team. What do you guys think in the chat? Now, it doesn't get to the free throw line enough. I'm looking at his numbers right now. It doesn't get to the free throw line enough. Shooting numbers did improve a little bit over last year. 36 from 3. He was hanging around in the 40s for a little bit. 48 in the mid-range. 51 from the long mid. Short mid. Doesn't finish at the rim. Not ideal, but it's got some potential there. 27 years old. He's got the contract. 25 next year, 27 the year after that, 29 the year after that. It's a little steep. It's up there. What do you guys think? Mind your business, DJ's not a good catch and shooter. That's fair. Triple M, has he ever played for a winning team? No. But hey, with a little sacrifice, could that be the move? So that's how I'm thinking. Like you guys said, DeJounte, Caruso. I think those are the moves. The move that we're not really seeing yet. That the Knicks might cash in on. Strengthen the bench if you can't get another major frontline starter. Like, strengthen the bench. Somehow, strengthen the bench. Trey Murphy, no shot. They can't get Trey Murphy. They liked him in the draft. I liked him in the draft, but they can't get Trey Murphy now. No. QP Zoom sacrifices his thing. I don't think he would. It's fair. Peter Fury, I think a point guard who is a bit bigger, a good defender, distributor, it doesn't have to be a great scorer. Yeah, we need that. We need that, man. I think we need a playmaker for the bench, for sure. Definitely. So, things to think about as the Knicks head into the offseason, man. Things to think about as the Knicks head into the offseason. But anyway, great show, my guys. Excellent show. Slide back through tomorrow. Check the temperature, see what's going on, man. But definitely salute to everybody who tapped into today's show. Let me read some more of the super chats. Junior Karoma says, salute CP. I agree with you. I think Leon and company is going to make another OG-type trade. That will make the most sense as of right now. Yeah, I think that is definitely on the table. Something that we should look at. Also, make sure that you guys tap into the Fred Katz interview, man. Me and Fred Katz redissected this thing from end to end in terms of off-season possibilities. So make sure that you guys tap in to the Fred Katz interview, man. Make sure that you guys are doing that. Absolutely. And what else, man? Salute to everybody on the lunchtime grind once again. Thanks for tapping in. What else? Salute to our sponsors at Manscaped. Remember, we will do the Mando giveaway and the playoff pack giveaway tomorrow. And just a couple things, man. We are here on the main page of KFTV. And like I said, man, tap into a lot of content. We got the Gary V show from last night, the Fred Katz interview. If you guys click on the channel page and you go to past live streams, you'll see all of our past live streams. The season debrief for Fred Katz, Knicks Weekly, me and Worldwide Rob Perez. We had a great show last week. That was actually 9 days ago. You have a lot of stuff on the page, man. Oh, check out this one, man. The fall and the rise of the New York Knicks after the 1973 season. This is the book by Adam Cribbles. Interviewed Adam Cribbles. I actually did the interview a couple months ago, but I put the video out. I put the interview out just a couple days ago, and that's a good one. It's a good interview talking about kind of the dark years that nobody really talks about, man. Like the time when the Knicks, after the 73 season to like up until they start to get Bernard, and then ultimately into the Ewing years. A great read and a great interview. So make sure you guys tap into that as well. So that's the story there. Shout out Johnny4481. Salute. He says playmaking, backup point guard, and a solid wing off the bench. Absolutely agree. Go get that wing in the draft, an upperclassman. I would love that, man. Puka Circle Podcast. Great episodes lately, man. Appreciate it, man. You know, we don't stop, man. We keep it rolling. So anyway, remember to do the damn thing here. Like, share, subscribe. You know what it is, man. Thanks for everybody for tapping in. Whether you are on YouTube. Shout out to our guys on Facebook. Salute to Facebook, man. Demetrius Aldridge, Ty Clemens says, what up, CP? We really just need a backup for OG and to keep him healthy. I think it's a chew at the right price. Okay, shout out to Ty Clemens. Shout out Rank New York Forever. David Piedra says, remember the game when Tim Hardaway Jr. battled Deion Waiters? Great back and forth. Yeah, maybe we could do some look backs. You know, if you guys have some look backs on some theater, we can get the highlights. We could do a little reaction to it. I like that. Danny George watching from Becqua Street, Becqua and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Salute to that, man. We in the islands. We in the Caribbean heavy. Let's go, man. I got to get back to Jamaica soon, man, and touch the soil, touch the sand. You know what I'm saying? So either way, man, you guys have a great day wherever you guys are watching it from the world. Like, share, subscribe, keep supporting the wave here at KnicksFanTV, man. Great to be on with you guys. Have a great day. We'll tap in tomorrow, man. Peace.